Well, hello, William Ways fans, and welcome to another edition of your most popular program on TV. It's better than EastEnders, this show, isn't it?
Yeah, same viewership.
Same viewership, yeah.
We're very fortunate, you know.
And same age.
They get more viewership when one of the guys dies.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, James.
Exactly. That's very kind of you. Well, we didn't die this weekend, but what we did watch was we watched some brilliant sport.
Fantastic sport. Firstly, let me start off with the Sharks. James, I have to start rugby because football went according to plan. Sharks were dismal. You know, I've seen more discipline in a crowded American jail. You know, it's just the penalty.
Crowded American jail.
Yeah, you know, anything goes there. Yeah. These guys are caught offside all the time. You know, they gave away penalties willy-nilly. I don't know, there's something missing, James. I don't know, the Sharks.
Well, I've said for 3 weeks, fly half is the position. Kerwin Bosch or fly half will make a whole different ball game.
They've got to look at it now.
And on top of that, I don't think the captain's got any control.
Yeah, there's not a strong man at the helm. You're right. So
remember Teichmann and those boys. Those guys.
Dick Muir's a strong man. I wonder when he's going to get his influence in. I think he's helping the defensive side. I'm not sure. But they've got to do something, because have a look at the change in the Bulls. The Bulls should never have lost.
No,
Bulls were magnificent.
Yeah.
They played. They revived that fly half. They've revived the centre. They revived the lock.
John Mitchell.
Mitchell's revived them. This is, for my money, going to be the best team in a year's time.
What I might ask had happened to England?
Aha! I had my Irish shirt on, had a green wig on, green glasses, St. Patrick Day. I went out and had a few beers and supported them.
Which would be unusual for an Irishman on St. Patrick's Day.
Very unusual, you know, and the Irish were way too good. It just shows how hard it is to win these Six Nations, James, because it's only the third time they've done it. And you look back, the French should not have lost to Wales. If they'd have won that, and they lost in the last minute kick to Ireland, the French could nearly have won it, you know. So it's very, but the English have been shown to be cart horses now.
Brittle.
Brittle. 3 defeats in a row, and they're going to have to turn it around.
I'm not so sure. I think that you'll find that Eddie Jones is too clever for this lot, and basically the World Cup is going to be his mission. And England will be very, very hard.
They've still got to come out here in June. I'm looking for all my English friends to contact me, because I've been saying South Africa will turn the corner, and we're starting to play good rugby, our Super 15 teams. When they come, I'm going to Cape Town game with a few English mates.
Yeah.
South Africa, Cape Town.
That should be fun.
I'm going to make sure I have a good wager.
Okay.
You know.
Have a wager, Major. Just on the rest of sport, did you watch McIlroy make 3 birdies in a row last night?
He proved that he's really one of the greats. Tiger Woods showed that he's a legend. You know, that par 5 killed him, but fantastic golf. I want to ask you, you know golf way better than I do. What's happened to Spieth, DJ, Day, the 3 young pretenders who are coming through? Great players, but where are they? Waiting for the majors or what?
Yeah, I think you know, the Masters in 3 weeks. You find a lot of these guys are prepping for the Masters, but I would believe that the 4 of the 5 that in fact, even Deschamps, those 5 will be very prominent in the Masters. I think Woods will be very hard to beat, and I think Rory, this might be his year, because he's gone back. Last year he putted like a dog, because someone's obviously told him that he must get more focused on trying to get the ball in the hole or something, instead of just being natural. When he just is natural, he is a genius.
Phil Giorgio phoned me up, you know, I don't gamble. He said to me, have a bet on the golf. I said, I don't gamble the golf. He said, the best bet you can ever have, take the 18-10 Hendrik Stenson.
Yeah.
So I woke up and Hendrik Stenson didn't finish the top 4.
Hendrik Stenson's an interesting guy. When he gets it going, he's impossible. But when he starts wobbling, and
all over the road,
putting him under pressure. Remember when he won the Nedbank by six shots? He was just unbeatable. But he does wobble. Federer wobbled, got beaten. I was very happy about that.
First Argentinian to win there.
Yeah.
James, just talking soccer, we have to talk soccer. The draw for the FA Cup semi-finals on.
Did you build Man United?
Man United meet Spurs, but it's Spurs' home ground. It's home ground for Spurs, which is great. And then I think Chelsea...
Southampton.
Chelsea got... Both those teams could have gone out, Chelsea and Southampton. But very good game. Spurs were very comfortable, and I thought Man United were in control, even though Brighton had a good spell. So it'd be very, very good for the game. And Liverpool, fantastic.
Yeah.
Saleh, 4 goals. Really great.
Well, there's only one other sporting event that you've got to watch. If you didn't watch it, start watching it. The MotoGP, Marc Marquez and Dovizioso had a duel. I've never seen anything like it. The last 5 laps.
What sport is that?
That's MotoGP.
Motor Grand Prix.
Motor Grand Prix.
Go-karts.
Motorbikes, lap.
Motorbikes.
Yeah. In your young day,
Motorbikes.
I can see that you must have ridden a motorbike in your young day. You've got that hairstyle.
Yeah, no, that hairstyle is from the cars. Head out the car with windows.
Like with your dog lapping at the breeze.
Lapping at the that's right. So, Jim, you can follow your MotoGP and your Grand Prix. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the
contact
sports.
The doctor ran third.
Who's the doctor?
Don't you know the doctor? Rossi?
Oh, he's a great driver.
Well,
what do you call him? Riders. He's one of the greats.
Great driver.
Let's
move on. Let's go and see 3 to 4. Right, we're going to go to Durbanville on Saturday and watch Louis Burke ride one for Vaughan Marshall in the first race. I think it was Cesura. Let's go and pick this one up at the start. This was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a strange distance, 1,250. And have a look at this horse. If he'd done one thing right, he would have won. He's very green out the gate, and Louis tucks him in as trying to get him to settle. It runs in Ranjit Sugalim's colours, the orange cap at the back now. The pace is on early in the race.
Watch where it goes now.
Yeah.
My God.
How's that cornering? Like Rossi?
Yeah.
And Lanza and Flying Arrow and Skidoo, they're showing good speed up front. So the race is on up front. And the winner's just a few lengths back. But have a look at the horse we found here. It's at the back. It's got the orange cap, and it's called Seisura.
Yeah. No one needs to teach top trainers their jobs, but I've always believed that first-timers need to be taught by decent jockeys. And watch us filling up. Watch us come around the back here. And now it starts to come out, head up in the air.
What's it, 2 off the left, James?
2 off the left behind the yellow colours. And honestly, this actually should have won.
Yeah, should have won the street.
Out of picture now. The winner's coming down the inside.
Sacred Arrow goes down the inside. And Sacred Arrow pounces. They went too fast up front, it seems. And as Sacred Arrow comes in, have a look at this orange cap with its ears back, this horse running on the outside.
Yeah. Now he suddenly stops riding. Put his hand on the horse's neck. And then, I don't know.
If it wasn't green, it would have won, James.
Absolutely.
Follow that horse, Seisura.
Anyway, we're going to go and have a look at Turfentine. We've got the first 2 races. Mike de Kock stepped out at Ducal Marmalade out of a Victory Moon mare. Well, no.
This has got to go 2 miles.
You would think so.
Yeah, you would think so.
This was 6 furlong, and the way it ran, might be a horse worth having a close look at down the future.
Absente. It shows very good speed. It runs in Michael's colours. Anthony Delpeche rides it for him. And it's a good race. The winner is called In Cahoots, Lyle Hewitson for Sean Terry, who ends up sitting behind him. If you look to the left of the screen now, the 2 horses on the left, the yellow one in behind them is your winner In Cahoots. And showing good speed for Duke of Marmalade is our friend Absente.
Yeah, you'd expect him to be going a bit more ground than this, but he's got lovely action, gallops beautifully.
Yeah, lovely.
And Mike obviously picked him up at one of these sales for not much money because he paid 200,000. Ian Haynes bred him.
That's right. It looks like it's going to fade here, James, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just is. He's got such a good action. Just watch him. He just keeps plugging, puts his head down, and keeps going. And he looks like a horse that really might have some quite good ability.
Yeah, Incoots comes down the inside with Lyle Hewitson, a very polished young rider, and he gets on now. It looks like he's not going to run second, Absente, but Anthony keeps him at it, and no stamina shortage in this horse. It's definitely not going to run second here, but it plugs on for second. The winner's won a tad cozily, but you've got to follow this, especially over a bit more of a trip.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see where they go with him, but I thought he was quite a nice horse. He looked like a nice, big, robust horse and one of the first Duke of Marmalades to run here. So very interesting watching him. Juvenile Plate, second race. Well, Mike de Kock stepped out the 5 million rand VAR filly that was the top price at its sale. And this horse that ran second, I thought ran a cracking good race. Sean Terry's runner, Lyle Hewitson rode this. Very, very good run from both of these horses. They might both be quite classy.
Yeah, you watch them. They soon have the race to themselves. Here is the horse we found, Celtic Sea, 1 off the outside. It looks like 1 or 2 off the outside. It's actually 2 off the outside with the white cap. It gets away. And in Sheikh Hamdan's colours, just about alongside it now, is your winner. Now, this winner was ridden by Gav Larina. It's a horse called Gala. Apart from those showing early speed down the inside of the track, the main two are on the outside. Number 4 is the horse we found, and next to it is this expensive Var.
Interesting. Anthony Beck owns this. Nice to see him in ownership in South Africa again. And certainly, I think this will give him a lot of fun. Captain Al, out of a Mark of Esteem mare, bred by Wilgersdorf Maritz Fontaine, obviously got some sort of pedigree. Yeah. And the winner now gets chased along in Sheikh Hamdan's colours. And this goes every yard with it.
The run-up's very green. As you can see, it's gone off a straight line, and I don't think it's compromised Gala slightly. But Gav Larina is very polished. These are two excellent riders up front. And at the line, it's very close because Hewson gets this horse to come back. Keep an eye on this horse, Celtic Sea.
Yeah, the third horse, long way back, and that doesn't look too bad either. So certainly it looks like a race that we can pick some winners out of. And I think that you'll find that next time Sean Terry's runner runs it, will win. We're going to look at This Shouldn't Happen. We've got no more flippers. Thank goodness the rain's gone away. Yeah, it was like Giroud when he was playing for Arsenal, never near the ball. Yeah. There's certainly, and a bit unbalanced look, yeah. But certainly.
Head turned the wrong way.
Head turned the wrong way, looking for support. Yeah, anyway, thank goodness Giroud's gone somewhere else.
He's in a team that's winning. What? He's Chelsea. He's up front for Chelsea.
Not because of him.
They're in the semi-finals. Yeah, not because of him.
Okay. Well, there we go. And if you want to watch the full unabridged version, go to the Gold Circle website and watch it on YouTube. Plum of the Week.
Last summer. In accommodation, how much left in the tank? 300 to go. Down the inside, Sunny Girl. Roman Courtesan has now heard the call, and Anton Walker says go. 2 lengths to make up. In accommodation, still clear. Roman Courtesan now ridden to respond, and respond she does, and that's it. Roman Courtesan inhaled in accommodation. Roman Courtesan going away a length. In accommodation second, Sunny Girl, Chatty Cathy and Dusky Dancer.
Well, when Shane Humby employs Anton Marcus to ride for him, take proper note. This horse went to 16 to 10. It was odds on all the way through. It looked like the bet of the week.
Looked like the bet of going back over this trip. And as Spooky Humby said afterwards, stay all day. And Arthur's banged him 2 from recently. Spooky's on form.
Horse Chestnut filly, yes. And owned by some very big followers of the game and sportsmen. And really nice to see it win. But Interbet, that was the place. You had to get the 16 to 10. That was where you could get on. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with current affairs.
The future of all betting is online and mobile. Interbet, we're the pioneers of online and mobile betting in South Africa and continue to lead the way.
When you win one of these big races, everything else becomes meaningless. It's just something, that thrill of adrenaline is just incredible.
Interbet is where the serious professionals bet.
Hi and welcome to Current Affairs. And James, we've got a couple of races internationally. We're bringing them, and we've got some news to talk about. But it looked like some good racing overseas and big money. You were looking at the figures.
Well, I went to Adelaide, as you know. That's where I was last week.
Of course, that's right.
For the Magic Millions.
How was it?
Well, I bought my first horse as an agent for some great friends of mine in Johannesburg who
let's
really
hope it's a
supported
star.
me.
What did you have to go to?
$25,000.
Fantastic, good start.
For an Uncle Mo filly.
Uncle Mo, there you go.
Uncle Mo stands at about 125,000 US.
Phenomenal
And
stallion.
he had a Group 2 winner over the weekend.
I've got an Uncle Mo,
I
James.
bought it from Jerry Harvey. You've got a very good Uncle Mo. What's his name?
Come on, ye Spurs.
Coys,
Come on, ye
yeah.
Spurs.
Come on, ye Spurs.
Did you buy it from Jerry?
From Jerry, yeah. So
Barrymore.
I said to Jerry,
I said, Jerry.
what happened? Why do you let this one go so cheap? He said, I didn't notice you. He said, otherwise I would have bid it.
He talks rot.
But he said, but actually, you're the only guy I've ever won with on the golf course. So he said, I wanted
He felt
to
sorry
get
for
on the
you.
course.
But
Yeah.
nice to see Barry's there. Barry's in charge, doing a wonderful job.
Barry-
The figures are good. The team are all in place. Wonderful.
It's actually flying. You know, the
Yeah.
sale was a very good sale. There was a
There was a new stallion. There's a boom
approach I was
stallion.
dying to buy. No, Spirit of Boom.
That's it,
He's the
gee.
horse. He's flying. He's Bersacola.
Yeah, they were
He-
coming for him, eh?
He's produced, I think, 15 winners already, 2-year-old winners. You know, so they were really going. But you know, to buy horses for this country, you don't want to buy those Australian fast pedigrees. You want to go and buy the high chaparrals.
It's improving. It's improving.
There was a Dawn Approach colt. Gee, I would have loved to have got him here.
What did he go for?
He went for 50,000.
Remember, James, you and I bought it for sale a year or two ago. I bought Sir Frenchie, and you bought a very nice horse too.
Hasty.
What's it called?
Brahm.
Hasty. Yeah, Hasty. Very nice horse. You know, they really have got some great pedigree. So this is a new stallion, Spirit of Boom. I saw they were coming big money.
But the averages were up. The international buyers. David Chester's got all his boys there. You know,
Yes.
and as usual, you know, Chook looks after us,
Yeah.
and we had a
Fantastic.
lovely dinner.
They have a good cocktail party again?
I didn't get there in time because I flew from Dubai then.
That's
and,
right, yeah. You go in those old
but
prop
I met
planes,
Chook
eh?
in the lift, which was good.
Dakota. You go in the Dakota from Dubai.
Yeah, the Dakota from
Lovely.
Dubai.
Those prop planes are still nice, James.
Yeah, no doubt. But they get you there eventually.
Yeah, they get
Look,
you
you have
there.
to stop at a
So
few
I'm pleased the
islands.
whole team were there, the Kiwi auctioneers, all the Aussie auctioneers.
Steve Davis, we had a good dinner with him.
Yeah,
and Grant
Burnsy.
Burnsy, all the boys were there.
All the boys, that's fantastic. So it looks good. I'll be there in June. Hopefully you're coming with
Yeah,
me.
well, we hope we can all
Find
get things,
another one.
get
Yeah,
things
well,
going.
I hope it's a great start to your bloodstock career.
Thank
You've
you
been
so
around
much.
horses all your life, and if it's a good horse, this James will be on lights in the show. We'll put it on lights. Jim's back. I should call it Jim's back.
Jim's back, yeah.
Oh, I'm pleased that Magic Millions is flying.
Yeah.
And James, let's talk racing. There are a couple of races because everything's building up to another place you went to, Dubai. You had a wonderful time there, didn't you?
Yeah,
You have a good
we
time.
did. And, you know, it was very interesting because Mike hasn't got the horses this year.
Yes.
But next year, I think he'll have
Yeah.
a team. And you could see it. And he was, you know, a bit under the weather. He likes to be up there fighting it out with the big guys. And
Yeah.
I thought Janubi ran a cracker.
Very good. Over 18, yeah.
And he's running on
I thought the other was ran
World
well
Cup
from way
night.
off the speed. Miles
Also
back.
him.
Ran a very good race.
He's running on Dubai World Cup night as well. So we got a couple of runners.
How was it? Did you hit a golf course? Because you're famous.
Yeah, we did. They took my money. I'm
You
sorry
lost.
to say. Yeah.
You're getting old, James.
Yeah, I was
Check your
in-
handicap.
intimidated. I was intimidated completely
Did
by.
you play any pikeys?
No, the English took my money.
Oh, they came.
Yeah.
Well,
the
they lost it
Keys
to-
Vetters, those guys can play.
Well, he was an international cricketer, the one
Yeah,
boy.
you can see the.
Got a swing.
Uh,
What's
he
his brother like? Can he play as well?
Ross didn't play. Ross came in. He was a Norschlepper.
Was he a
But
Norschlepper?
Craig
Craig can
Cruzen
play.
arrived there with And
He was a
played,
fantastic
but-
cricketer.
And Brett Crawford was useless without Phil Giorgio's clubs. You know,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
Tony
that's-
Penners he can play.
Yeah, the Tony
He played
Penners.
with Sumions, state of the art.
Those are
brilliant.
very good because Phil Giorgio got those for his 21st.
Yeah, and
You know?
Phil Giorgio can play with him. There must be good clubs.
Must be good clubs. He's murder. But anyway, it's looking forward. It's building up to a wonderful trip. I know we're all going to be there for the main night where we're supporting Michael's two runners. Having a bit of fun, Mike. That's what James, that's what life's about. And then also pushing your career a bit further, finding clients, James.
Exactly. Well, you're going to have to put me in touch with a few of your mates.
I'll
know,
put you in
you've got a
touch
lot
with all of
mates
them,
around.
James,
Yeah, yeah.
and it'll be wonderful. And are you going to have another game of golf, or have they scarred you?
No, I left
Back.
my clubs there.
Oh,
I said, they definitely, listen, I said, the money you got is borrowed, but my pikey friends weren't there. Basically, I ended up with Jim Crowley. He was my
What's he
partner.
like?
There's a nice guy and a really good rider, top rider, really nice man. He drove me to the course and back. Very interesting chatting to him. You know, he's
made his way up to
number one rider there. He was a jumps jockey.
Is that right?
He started his life as a jumps jockey, 5 years as a jump rider.
So very good riders
but
today.
what a nice guy. No good on the golf course, murder. So
Well, who took your money then? The caddy?
No, the English and the Pikeys and Mike de Kock took my money, which really aggravated
They
me.
must agree.
Yeah,
Is Mike still a good player?
Yeah, you know what he's like. He's just...
He's a Mamba.
Yeah, he's a Mamba.
Is his son any good?
I'm actually aggravated.
Is his son any good?
It's Matthew.
Matthew.
Matthew's better than Mike.
Oh, you don't play him then.
Don't tell Mike that.
Steer clear of him. But James, so we're all looking forward to going out there. I know there's a few spots left on Let's Go Travel.
There are a few spots.
There's a few spots because he got an extra table. He managed to secure an extra table. That's
downstairs.
the big thing, downstairs, right up next to the parade
Can't
ring.
wait.
So that's great to look forward to. But let's go look at the races that took place, James. I think you've highlighted a couple of meetings. Which one are we going to start with?
Well, I think the first we just talk about, while we're talking about Dubai, Light the Lights won the Abu Dhabi Championship, which is a Group 3. And I think it's his third win in Dubai.
Was he shipped from Dubai?
Well, Abu Dhabi's down the road.
Yeah,
so,
sure, but I mean, that's they shipped
but,
him down.
I think Mike found the perfect spot for him, and he put on a guy called Audrey de Vries, who's by all accounts a pretty good rider. And he rode his
South African.
100th winner, Audrey de Vries. I think he's a Dutchman.
Okay.
So he's connected to South Africa. There are a lot of Dutchmen
that's right, yeah.
from all over the place.
All over.
Yeah. And he rode it Light the Lights one, so he's been a fabulous horse, Light the Lights.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Just under the radar top level.
Yeah.
But a good, honest earner.
Find the right spots for him. He's there in position.
He'll be there. And then, Jim, what about the Hong Kong race, the Derby?
Well, we've been building up to it, and you know, this has been one of the things we really looked forward to was the Derby, because Singapore Sling obviously had a huge chance in the race.
Yeah, I read the reports afterwards, James, and Ryan Moore again. John Sines is a fantastic trainer. He's running this horse over 7 furlongs. He jumps it straight up into this 2,000-metre race. And James, the stallion, I don't know, Nom de Plume.
Nom de Jour.
Is it Nom de Jour? Sorry,
Nom de Jour.
Nom de Jour. I don't know the stallion.
Kiwi, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Kiwi bred.
Like,
another big race for the Kiwi breeders. They're very good.
Yeah.
And I was obviously shouting for Singapore Sling.
Of course, we were always. So we're going to show the race because it was a defeat filled with glory, because this is one of the big ones in Hong Kong, and to have a South African horse go and run this well in one of the biggest races on the Hong Kong stage. Fantastic. Let's go and watch Singapore Sling with Chad Schofield aboard.
Coveted race for 4-year-olds, and they're off in the Derby. Good Omen off the inside, bounced beautifully. Nothing I Like More is powering forward. So too is Lockheed. Riven not far away. Singapore Sling jumped beautifully. The Golden Age a little slow to muster, but he's moving around them quickly as they head out of the stretch. Rocketeer's quite wide. So too is Patriot Hero, followed by Savvy 6 down on the rail, settling on the inside of Ratton. A length and a half then to Dr. Jeff, who's in a forward move, 3 deep. Followed third last by Rivet, who's very keen back in the field. 2 back then to Exalton, who settles second last, and Ping Hai Star is last of all, and he's 10 lengths from the pace as they head into the back, and the Golden Age assume control now in the Derby, leads a length to Rocketeer second. Third position is Riven. Nothing I Like More's got the 1 out, 1 back spot. Fourth on the outside of Lockheed, and Patriot Hero 3 deep from Singapore Sling, and Good Omen down on the rail. Then Dr. Jeff, who's wide from Ratton. Savvy 6, Rivet. Second last is Exalton, still 8 or 9 from the top. Ping Hai Star is last of all. They've gone inside the halfway. 850 metres to travel. And the Golden Age running along, leads by 2 lengths to Rocketeer second. Riven's had a lovely run third. So too, Nothing I Like More. Then Lockheed, Patriot Heroes covered ground. Singapore Sling niggled at down the side. Dr. Jeff wider out. Good Omen, Rivet, Ratton. Exalton starts to head to the outside. Ping Hai Star's going to get onto his back. Savvy 6 is one of the last. The Golden Age brings them into the home stretch. Legs pounding like pistons. Moved a length clear. Riven into the clear from Rocketeer. Lockheed. Nothing I Like More. Singapore Sling descending down the middle. Exalton's to the widest part of the track. The Golden Age keeps finding. Riven's within 100 half. Singapore Sling winding up. Here's Ping Hai Star emerging. Ping Hai Star racing up to Singapore Sling. They got to the golden age. Ping Hai Star tearing away with the Derby. John Size produces a masterpiece with Ping Hai Star. He defeats Singapore Sling and Exultant gets third.
Well, there we go. Terrific run and a great run by the winner, but the South African horse, fantastic, James.
Yeah, I just think, you know, horse racing's about the winners,
Yeah.
and it's very hard to win. There's always 15 horses trying to beat you, 15 trainers, 15 jockeys, and to run second in a race of this caliber is just fantastic for philanthropists, Gaynor
Yes.
Rupert,
Yeah.
you know,
It's out of a
South
Western
African
Wintermere,
industry,
yeah.
the breeding industry. You wish the captains of this industry would be able to do something about getting horses out
They're
there.
trying. I've seen some.
They've been trying
I've seen
for
some
25
footage.
years.
They're trying. Yeah,
50 years,
I know
yeah.
it's the same story. But what's this hot off the press news you got about Dalpesh going to ride El Sayem? Is that true?
No?
Not
No,
true.
I don't know anything about it, but Phil walked in here and he knows what's going on. Is that what he said?
Yeah, the Dalpesh going back there. He knows the horse very well.
Yeah.
And he knows the track. Obviously, he's ridden there and he's won there.
He won on Vengeance and Rain. He
That's
won that, I think,
He's
the
been
turf.
out there.
Yeah.
He's so that's good news. Another
Oh,
South
nice.
African.
Well, we'll have another mate that we can play golf with.
Yeah.
Another
Can-
guy
can
we
you
can
beat
take
him at
cash
golf?
off with. Delpesh is easy. I'm
Will
telling you.
Dalpesh borrow
Him and
Phil's-
Dees, I can't wait for them to come out of hibernation. They've been hibernating, trying
They've
to
done their money. They've done their money.
Him and Dees. Yeah.
Will Dalpesh use Phil Georgio's Penna clubs?
No, he's going to use Sumion's clubs.
Oh, Sumion's,
Everyone
okay.
uses Sumion's clubs. Christoph's got state-of-the-art clubs.
Oh, has he?
And
Oh,
if
you'd
you
expect
get
it.
lucky enough to use those clubs, different
All right.
class.
Well, that was
Just
Singapore's
talking
swing.
about Hong Kong, they turned over some ridiculous amount of money, 1.65 billion Hong Kong dollars, which
What's
is
that in rands?
nearly 2 billion rands. Okay,
One day.
on Derby Day. That's how much
It's
turned
frightening,
over.
eh?
And they had
Let me
their sale.
commingle with them.
They had their big sale. They sell horses twice a year.
That's right, yes,
And
yeah.
these were the older horses that they sold. They sold one for, I think it was 1.67 million rand. They sold this horse for. Now remember, they bought Graham Hawkins and the Hong Kong team bought a whole lot of horses from sale
Yes, yes.
that are going over there to be
and they've been
sold
moved
on
on.
their sale. So it will be very interesting to see how they go. This horse that won the Derby won in the fastest time since inception, 19 years. So
Very
that's
good.
something to think about as
Very
well.
good. The way he won, Ryan Moore.
Yeah,
First
Ryan
Derby he's
Moore.
won. First
Jeez.
Derby he's won.
Yeah, not the first Hong Kong Derby.
Yes,
Yeah.
first Hong Kong Derby.
Yeah.
All right, James. What else in the news have you got?
Poet's Voice, who's
Yeah,
a
11
dear friend
years
of
old.
ours, you know.
Died of a heart attack.
Yeah, died of a heart attack. I bought Boatswain. I think
That's
you
right.
bought a nice one out of
Yeah, I will
Leaves of
one.
Green or something.
Is it Leaves of Grass or
Leaves of
something?
Grass,
Something
yeah.
like that. Very
Yeah,
good staying
yeah.
filly in Cape Town.
Boatswain. All off Magic Millions, you know.
That's
They're
right, yeah,
nice
so they've
horses.
lost that stadium.
Shame, so he's gone. He had 13 stakes winners. We got in early.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
no one really knew, but he's turning out to be a very good horse. He had a horse called Poet's Word, which was
Yeah.
a Group 1 horse.
Yeah.
Peter Miller, not the Peter Miller we know.
We had the late Peter Miller here.
The late Peter Miller. This
Yes.
chap, his namesake, trains in America.
Oh, he's a good trainer, James.
He trained 2 Breeders' Cup winners last
Yeah,
year.
a very good trainer. What's he done
Sprinting
now?
Trainer. He got a $2,500 fine, and he got suspended for 7 days because he had said something about someone's unborn baby. Okay, one of the racing officials.
So he lost it.
He lost it, and he's been told he's got to go on an anger management course. I just thought it's
Those are
classic.
great. They should have had a few out in this
Just thought,
country.
can you imagine? You know,
Yeah.
the stops would have had a time with me, $2,500 a time. You know,
Yeah, anger management. Yeah,
shouting
so-
and screaming at them. Okay, Canford Cliffs had a Group 2 winner, so it's great for
Very good.
Highlands. And,
Where was that, James? What part of the world?
Richmond in Australia, Moonee Valley.
Fantastic.
At the Alistair Clark Stakes.
Okay.
So that was very good. And Jackson had his first winner,
Yes.
also from Highlands.
Very
so, you
good.
know,
Jackson,
Highlands
yeah.
flying. Marrero, Joel, is coming to Dubai World Cup. So even more reason why you want to get over there. As Phil's just told us, there's only a few spots left
Yeah,
if you
they've
want to
got to
get
take
there.
him, yeah. And
Okay.
will you beat Marrero at golf?
I don't know anything about Marrero.
Neither do I. No.
But I know that he can ride. I watched him ride.
Yeah, he's a great rider. Great rider.
But he is a great rider. But, you know, I'm a bit deflated. My golf's a bit bad. I'm worried. Certainly not on the rise.
Yeah, go to the driving range. Tiger Woods can turn it around, you can turn it around.
Is that what Spielberg just said?
Go to the driving
in my
range.
earpiece, go to the driving range. He's quite right, actually. It's exactly where I'm going, straight off the show. We're going to have your call where we've got two very interesting inserts about Godolphin, but we'll take a break first. Right, well, we dug up some footage which we thought was very interesting because most people don't really know what type of operation Godolphin is. And we got some footage about them and about how they, the one is on its Australian site and how they run Osborne Park, I think it's called, which is absolutely fascinating and beautiful. And then...
Is that where Vin Cox is heading up?
Yeah,
Godolphin,
he's
Australia.
the MD of Godolphin. I think he's running the whole show.
Yeah, fantastic, great man. Great man, yeah.
And the other one shows life of a work rider in Godolphin. You know, it starts with how he gets up in the morning. Quite interesting to see how these guys work. You know, he tacks up. He said,
"Is it a money-based operation, James?"
Yeah,
fully.
Yeah.
No expense spared.
No expense spared. And as you've seen, we've got a couple more, which we'll probably show over the next couple of weeks, so that it's fresh in your mind, and you can see what type of opposition a guy like Mike de Kock's up against when you see how these guys are able to spend money. There's no way that anyone in the world can spend money like these guys on preparing and getting horses ready to race. And it's beautiful to watch. Any horse lover will enjoy it, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So it's a two-parter. First one is Osborne Park in Australia, and the second one is the day of a life of a work rider working for the Godolphin team.
I've been doing this for like 20 years, so I get a feel of a horse when it's not fit or if it is fit. Their movement, the way they stride out, if it's moving well, if it's not moving well. Everything is about the horse, and you're just looking for little things, but they could be really important things. What am I riding? My role is to take the horses in the morning through their paces, exercise them, and get them ready for the races. Morning, George. Good. Morning, Liz. So my day generally starts at 5:30, and we start riding out at 6. On a gallop morning, on a Monday morning, we have about 3 slow lots, just canters, and then we'll go straight into the gallops and do 7 or 8 gallops. We try and tack them up as late as possible so they're not standing around with the saddle on. Some horses just start getting excited. Other horses are to be chilled out and half go to sleep before they go out. So, a bit like me, sleepy. I wish I looked as good as that before I went out. Morning, Neil. How's it going? Yeah, good. Beautiful. This morning's like this, you look forward to going out and riding.
Let's get her in a nice rhythm, Bucko. She's in a 10 furlong race on Saturday. All right, boys, thanks a lot, eh? At least come through well, eh?
Yeah.
And just let him find his feeder. Well done. 5-2 on the bit. What'd you think of that, brother?
Yeah, really good, John.
Travis? Oh, he's been here since I've been here. Fantastic young rider. Been a great addition to us because he gets it right all the time. Oh, he's a very quiet fella. And if he says something, it's usually spot on. How's that, mate?
Yeah, really good, John. She's moving well.
Lovely action, eh?
Yeah.
No coughs?
No.
It's about familiarity and you know, just a relaxed nature, and you find that if the rider's relaxed, then the horse becomes the same. And they're the lifeblood of our organisation, because without them we can't function. So up here, Ken, all the way on the poly, all right?
I get on a couple of horses at the top of the barns, then I take them down, go around a couple of laps with them, and then straight into the gallops, which is the fast work, and it's just a case of getting on and off 7 or 8 different horses and taking them through their paces. It's a privilege just to ride with top jockeys and top work riders here at Godolphin. James McDonald is obviously one of Australia's best jockeys, and to be able to ride work with him, it's a privilege. So we finish up at 9:30, go for some breakfast, grab a cup of coffee, and and then come back until 11. Check that they're all good after the morning's work. The ice gets the blood flowing to the joints and the muscles, just like a professional athlete. If they do a bit of exercise and have a nice bath, the same sort of principles. That's a good girl. Some horses absolutely love it. Some horses will be biting and trying to kick you. They're not too keen on it, but they like it when it's all done. They feel better after it. Each horse has their own character, and you have your favourites. Working with them every day. We come back this afternoon around 2ish and put them on the walker, have a little bit of exercise, get them out their box. Knocking off for about 4:15, which is beautiful. Still a bit of sunlight around. Tomorrow back again at 5:30 and start again. The team is what makes this place run. Osborne Park is a big team, and it's a huge effort for everyone involved, and yeah, when we get winners, it's a team celebration, really. This is like a 5-star resort, 4 horses. It's state of the art, and it's actually just an honor to be able to sit on the type of horses that we've got here. Come on, kid. You wouldn't want to be doing what I'm doing anywhere else.
We break in pretty much all of Sheikh Mohammed's Northern Hemisphere yearlings. Every horse is different. Some of them will be ridden in 2 days. Some of them it will take a month to get a rider on them, just depending on their character. But on the whole, 95% of them will be broken in, ridden away within 6 weeks and ready to go into their trainer. When they first arrive, the first thing we need to get them used to is just being generally handled. Most of the horses that are arriving, they've been turned out in the paddock for the last sort of year of their life, and suddenly we're putting them in a stable and expecting them to go on a walker and, you know, be ridden all within 6 weeks. So it's just general handling to start with. We then go through a process called lunging, which is where we take them into a round pen and we exercise them in a round circle around us. And the main aim when you're lunging a horse is to get the horse to listen to you, really.
So he just arrived from Kildagan day before, and we're going to lunge him today and see how he goes. So guys, whenever you're ready.
Good. That's a good boy. That's a good lad. Come on. Good. That's a good boy.
Once you've got the horse listening to you on the lunge, then we roller a horse. So a roller is slightly different from tack. It's just like a band that goes around their girth, around their waistline. And it just sort of teaches them about the pressures of a girth of a saddle without actually putting a whole saddle on. So once they're used to that, that's normally quite good fun. They have a bit of a buck and a kick and perform a little bit when they have that sort of tight, it's like a belt, I guess. Once they're used to that, then we'll put tack on them for the first time, so they'll have a saddle on.
Good girlie.
This is a yearling filly. She's a very, very exciting filly to have. At the moment, she is in the second phase of the breaking in programme. She's handling it all very well, very smooth. What Jono is doing here now is he's driving her, which is he's giving her a mouth. So by going left and by going right, she's just learning how to turn and also learning those commands of, you know, with John leaning on her left side or leaning on her right side.
Once they're good in the saddle, then we'll start putting jockeys up on top of them. The process of actually getting someone from the ground up onto the horse, it's quite scary for a horse, you know. So we take it slowly. So for the first few days, we'll sort of jump up and down beside them, just so they're sort of used to that kind of movement. And then gradually we'll get to the stage where we'll be lying over them and then sitting up on them. If you just jump straight up on a horse, it can see you and it's going to scare it. Whereas if you lie over and then gradually sort of bring your body up, the horse will see you and get used to you and be listening to you as well. It's that verbal communication that's quite important through the breaking process.
Oh, big boy. Good boy. Good boy. You seem pretty relaxed, so I was pleased with that, so we can move on now.
So looks like Ben's happy with him now, and I'm just going to ask him if he wants to ride him in the pit here. So what Ben is doing now is he's just doing the same thing what he did with him yesterday in the box, but he's doing in an open environment today in the pit.
There we go.
Good boy. Good boy.
You happy there, Ben?
Okay, yeah.
I think that'll do him for the day.
We can tell pretty quickly if a horse isn't enjoying it or if a horse is not coping with the breaking process. The most important thing is spotting that quickly and making sure that we're not distressing the animal. You know, they're big animals, they're a 500-kilo animal. You can't make a horse do something it doesn't want to do. You've got to persuade it that it wants to do it. And that's the key, really, is making sure that they've got to enjoy it. Stage 3 is then getting them out into the big wide world. So we'll bring them out into our own trotting rings. We've got a sort of 5-acre paddock, which is fairly enclosed, but it's just sort of taking them in stages, you know, it's just sort of giving them a little bit more to think about without blowing their mind completely. So we'll go into the trotting rings for about 2 weeks. And then the final stage, the stage we get them to hear before they go into their trainer, is we'll take them out onto the heath for the first time, which is a massive expanse of open grassland, and teach them to canter and really start to travel in their canters. So they're starting to do a little bit faster work. And again, the most important thing at every stage is that they're enjoying it, they want to do it, because if they want to do it, then they become very easy animals to train. We're on the grass canters, and the main difference between the canters that we've been on before and the canters we're on this morning is that there are no white rails. So the horses are having to listen to their jockeys to keep them in a straight line. You know, they can't just follow the white rail and stay nicely in their canter there. They've actually got to sort of listen to their jockey and think about what they're doing a bit more. Also, crucially, the aim is that all of these horses will be running on the grass. We've got 2 days left with them, and I couldn't be happier. When you see them coming up the grass like that, you know that they've been well educated. You can see that they're happy. Physically, looking at them in the evenings, they're doing well, they're thriving on their work. So for us, it's a real mix of emotions. You know, we're very proud of what we've achieved, but equally we'll be sad to see them go. But looking forward to seeing them on the racecourse. I love seeing the progression of a young horse. It's so interesting to watch them arrive here. They're normally, you know, quite scatty and a bit mad, and during their 6 weeks here, they really progress. And I think it's watching that progression and then seeing them on the racetrack. Then it's very satisfying to know that you were involved with that horse in its early preparations.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.